Hi, my name is Sehar Gogia, and I'm in 8th grade at Hollis Brookline Middle School. Welcome to yet another graduation of a Sunday batch of Circles of Growth. I hope they will keep you on the edge of your seat. Hopefully not because you're trying to get up the nerve to leave, because don't you worry, I'm not speaking today. When my mom first told me I was going to join this class, I refused to go. After a couple classes, however, I gained confidence in how to talk in front of an audience. Not only did I gain confidence, but it also helped me on how to write a perfect speech and how to gain information on a certain topic. I cannot believe just last year I was part of this program, and it gives me immense pleasure to be back on stage, but in a different role. Just the way I did, I know the students who are graduating today have worked really hard to get to this stage, and I wish them all the best. Before we start, here's some housekeeping rules. Please turn off your phones or put them in vibration mode. If you have to take a call, please exit the room and re-enter only after the current speaker is finished. If you have to use the restroom, the same rule applies. I also encourage you not to talk among yourselves. We will also be recording the children's speeches, so I'd much rather have you enjoy these moments than focus on the video recording. In general, let's respect the speakers. So this is how the program will go. We have 5 graduates speaking tonight. After that, the chief guest will come on stage and talk about her role in the community. Immediately after that, the graduates will get their certificates of accomplishment. And after that, there will be plenty of photo opportunities. So without further ado, please let me call up Tanisha Boscoar to introduce the first speaker. Please give her a hand.
Hi everyone, good afternoon, and it's my pleasure to introduce our first speaker today, Kendle Lamb. Kendle is 13 years old, and he will be going into 9th grade in Nashville High School South this fall. His favorite subject is science, and in his free time, he likes to read, he likes to play the piano, and color in his notebook. He also plays the clarinet, and he likes playing computer games. Please welcome my good friend Kendle.
Don't stop it now. You should. Introduction के साथ में. Come on, Kendle.
Hello and good afternoon, everyone. My name is Kendle Lamb, and I'm very glad to be the first speaker today. I'd also like to thank Tanisha for introducing me. So today I'm going to be talking about something that has definitely played a very big role in my life, which is destination imagination. Mainly, I'll be talking about 3 aspects of destination imagination. I'll be talking about my experience with destination imagination. I'll be talking about my experience at the DI Global Finals. And I'll also be talking about what I've learned from DI after doing it for 6 years. So first off, I'll talk about my experience with DI. It all started when my brother was in 2nd grade and I was still in kindergarten, and when he came home from school, he told me that he was going to be doing DI. Don't laugh, but I actually thought he said he was going to die. So I was actually pretty excited since I thought I'd be getting all this stuff, but unfortunately he then told me that DI was pretty much just a program where you and up to 6 other people choose a main challenge out of 6, and then you have 4 months to go ahead and prepare a solution for that challenge, and then you'll present that at the regional tournament. There's also an instant challenge portion of the tournament, which is pretty much just a really short challenge that your team has to do there. So I heard about it from my brother, and I thought it was a lot of fun, so I decided that I would also be doing it. And when I got to 3rd grade, I decided to join a DI team, and it was the first year I was doing it, so I wasn't really trying. I was just there to have fun. So we actually chose a challenge where you have to create a bunch of cars that would roll across the floor into a big target, and then based on where your car landed on the target, you would get a different amount of points. And we actually did really poorly that year. We got 3rd to last place at the regional tournament, but I wasn't really disappointed at all since it was my first year doing it, and I still had a lot of fun. So I decided to try again and try to win in 4th grade. And in 4th grade, I chose a structural challenge, which is just a challenge where we had to create a structure that could hold as much weight as possible. And I was really surprised to see that at the end, our structure was able to hold over 230 pounds. So I was really proud of myself for that. And at the regional tournament, I think we did really well. And we were able to go to the state tournament where we made even more improvements to our story and also our instant challenge skills. So we were actually able to make it to globals. And I was super excited since there was a huge contrast between that year and the year before, because we got third to last place the year before. And I was really excited to be going to globals, and I'll be talking about my experience there later on. And in 5th grade, I had a lot of fun at globals, so I decided to do DI again to try to go to globals again. And this year we also did a structural challenge, and I was pretty happy about that since I had already had some experience with it, since I already done a structural challenge in 4th grade. And so in 5th grade, the difference was that I think you had to remove parts of the structure and still make it hold. And at the regional tournament, I think we did really, really poorly. But luckily, there weren't many people doing the challenge, so we were still able to go on to states. And at states, we made a lot of improvements on our props and our instant challenge skills like the year before, and we were able to make it to globals again. And I was like just mind blown because I didn't know that my team could accomplish such a thing. And I had a lot of fun at globals again, and it wasn't any more boring than the year before. So in 6th grade, I went to a really, really good school called ASD, where there are a lot of smart kids there. So at ASD, there weren't many people doing DI, so we had to only have a small 4-man team. And that might seem like a disadvantage at first, but luckily there was less arguing in the team, and we were able to focus on the task at hand better. So that made it a more fun experience for me, because in the past I'd only worked with very large teams. And this year at the regional tournament again, I think we did really poorly, but I was actually wrong, because we actually got I think it was 1st place at the regional tournament, which was super surprising to me since I'd already been to states twice and I didn't know that I would be able to go there again. And at states, we changed up a lot of our stuff to make it better, and we were actually able to go to globals again because we got 2nd place there. And I was just super, super excited since I already been to globals twice already, and I thought it was a lot of fun, so I was excited to go back there again. So in 7th grade, I decided to do DI again. I was kind of expecting to go to globals since I had already been there 3 times in a row, but unfortunately, we actually did really poorly, and we got last place at the regional tournament. But it was still a good learning experience for me since I knew that I still learned a lot from the year. And most recently, I just finished 8th grade at ASD, and I had also done DI there as well. And that year, we chose another structural challenge, and I thought that was going to be great since I already had done it twice in the past. And actually, we did do pretty well, and we went to states, but we only got 3rd place there instead of 2nd place, which is what's needed to get to globals. So I was pretty disappointed, but I still knew I learned a lot. But I was pretty grateful that I already gone to globals 3 times in a row. So now I'll be talking about my experience at DI Global Finals in the 3 times that I've been there. So pretty much, usually DI Global Finals are located in Knoxville, Tennessee, and over 1,400 teams usually participate, with 17,000 people being there. And that pretty much just means it's a really big event, and there's tons of things to do there. Personally, I think that my favorite thing to do there was just to look at other teams' performances to see how they did what they did for the same challenge that I had done, just to see what we had done differently. And I remember seeing a middle school team come up with some really cool robot once I had been there, and I was really confused because I didn't know just a middle school team would be able to accomplish something so advanced. And then another thing you can do is pin trading. And I never really got any rare pins or any really cool ones, but I still thought it was very fun to interact with other people doing DI and learn more about them. And I think the best part of globals actually was just missing school, because it was part of the school year. And the last thing you could do at Globals is just go around to these interactive exhibits where you could just see cool stuff and just see really new innovations and stuff like that. So lastly, I'll be talking about what I've learned at DI from doing it for 6 whole years. And the main thing you obviously learn is just how to think creatively and also be part of a team, because this really helped me when I was working in school projects at ASD, and it helped me manage the project well, and it taught me how to collaborate with others. So at the beginning of DI, I thought that just getting 7 of me would make a perfect team, but then I realized that there are many skills that I lack, so that I have to get a team with lots of different people coming from different backgrounds, because each different person has a different thing to contribute to the team. And I really like that, because I knew that if I actually messed up or if I wasn't able to do something, I would always have a team to back me up. And that's just the main thing you learn from DI. You can also learn other stuff like just what makes a structure strong, or like writing scripts, or just other fun stuff along the way. So today I talked about my experience with DI, my experience at DI Global Finals, and lastly, what I've learned from DI. Personally, I think that DI is a really good experience, and that's not only fun, but you can also learn a lot, and you definitely get to feel what it's like to be part of a team, and also just have lots of team spirit. So thank you for listening to my speech.